Good morning, everybody. It's Scarlett here for Matchmaking Heaven. Hope you guys are enjoying the mother load yesterday. I've got another big group of them today. So yeah, I hope you guys are ready. Let's see here. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Where in the mo? Aha! Ooh. Yikes. Alright. I'm going to make me some coffee again. Because it is morning. Oops. Let me make sure I didn't hit anything.
Speech on. Time recorded. Recording 110. Pause.
Okay.
Speech off.
Okay, I'm gonna move this over here. Well, let me scoot this right here. That way it's close so you guys can hear it still. And I'm gonna slide it up here. Whoa! Don't be sliding off there now, sir. Alright, what should I make? Where? Oops. A couple of these. I don't know what kind this is. Let's see. Ouch. Let me... I'm not sure what both of these are, so we're just gonna mix a couple things just for the hell of it. Hot. And go. I'll have to find out what I just mixed, y'all, because I do not know. I know one's, ooh. Okay, one of them I think is cinnamon vanilla, and I think the other one's chocolate. Ooh, yum. Yeah, definitely chocolate. One of them is definitely chocolate. So the other one's cinnamon vanilla. So that's what I mixed. So I'm trying this first on this one. If I like it, I'll put it on far out. Okay. So there's that. Can I have it? Thank you. That felt good on the hand. I know I'm weird, I'll admit it. I'm a weirdo. Okay, let me scoot you back, sir. I don't know, I'm weird. Anyway, let's see. I'm going to have... Damn! French vanilla, so the cinnamon vanilla. And do I have my chocolate one right here? Yes, I do. Robin, you are corrupting me. So I got vanilla, chocolate, cinnamon vanilla, coffee, and then a mix of chocolate coffee. Let me tell you, I went down a Suno rabbit hole again tonight. I've been up all freaking night, so. And I will keep you posted. I have not done the, comment on the YouTube channel yet. Because right now, I was more worried about getting you guys your content. But I definitely will be posting the thing I said yesterday. I said I would definitely do. Well, I'm going to. Hello, Alvin. But I will definitely be doing that as soon as I can get caught back up a little bit. All right, put that back on. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely try to. I'm definitely gonna try and. I'm gonna try my best to do that. Now, if I get a comment beforehand, heaven forbid, if I get a comment on that video before then, I will come back on and let you know. But if I don't, and I put the comment on the channel instead, I will keep you posted either way on the thing I was curious about yesterday. So, yeah. Right the door, people. Alright. Let me grab the iPad and I'll come in here. Yeah. And I wanted to let you know what's going on today schedule-wise. Today is flashback day. Finally, it's here. You will finally get your flashbacks, peeps. I finally have them. I have to get 2 more recording. So I will be doing that first. Well, I will get some uploaded probably first, and then record them and put the last 2 up tonight. So, and then we will be completely caught up with the flashbacks and everything else and the ones I missed when I was in Virginia. So, today is going to be flashback to Virginia. Which sadly, things didn't end up working out with that mother-daughter relationship. So you will hear me calling her mom in those, which that sadly didn't end up coming to fruition. So, things happen, sadly, but I still wanted to upload them because, I figured, why not? And no, it's not going to trigger me or anything. It's not going to trigger, like, bad memories or nothing. So, yep, it's not going to trigger any ill will or, bad memories or whatever. I have no ill will toward her at all. I mean, I dislike the situation, but, life happens. It does suck, but like I said, life happens. Life happens. And I'm kind of waiting because it's a little bit toasty. Interesting. Yum. Like I said, I can come up with some crazy coffee mixes. So I'll definitely have to do this one on Far Out too. So again, if you weren't paying attention, you had walked away for a second. It's chocolate coffee, cinnamon vanilla coffee with a combination of French vanilla creamer and chocolate creamer in it. Yeah, it's pretty damn good, actually. I like. And I gotta call out Suno again because you guys yesterday heard about Kirsty joking me saying, people are gonna call me a barista when I start doing these crazy things, and they'd be like, oh, she's gonna be a barista. Well, now mind you, like I said, this app does not know shit that goes on in my life. Sometimes I wonder now. It makes me wonder sometimes, I swear. Because yesterday, I did the outro. I had to think for which one it was. The outro for Far Out. And it mentioned a barista. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, the way it worded things, it made me sound like a freaking barista. I'm like, okay, thank you, Suno, for the compliment. I appreciate that. Seriously, I do appreciate the compliment. Wow. I mean, to be honest, even though it's an AI app and it's, it's AI generated, that actually kind of made me feel good because it don't know me and it doesn't know my in a sense, lack of confidence in myself sometimes. And oh, that just triggered me. I have to remember to send that to Robin. I want her to see that. It just triggered me to think of that. But it gave me the confidence, like, okay, nice. That just triggered me to think of the idea to send that to Robin. Let her hear that. Robin will like that. I bet Robin's gonna like that. Ooh, I gotta send it to Kate too. And I'm gonna tell Kate it was Christy's fault. She brought it up. I mean, me, a barista. Interesting. Not saying I couldn't, but just, it was just irony that, you know, here she goes bringing that up on a vlog, and then Suno goes into this thing where I had my own freaking coffee house, like, you know, my own coffee shop. It's like, damn, son of a bitch. That's kind of scary. I'm like, shit. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. I thought that was absolutely freaking funny. And I will tell you a couple, let's see, starting next week, Thanksgiving week, and each year that's going to happen, which I will always remind you each year just in case, we are going to be changing our intro, our middle song, and our outro for Thanksgiving. Me and Narquise wrote them yesterday on Suno, so they are all Suno AI generated. So yeah. So there might be, oh yeah, he wrote a Christmas one too. I have to get that from Mom, but he wrote one for Vlogmas as well. So Christmas will also be changed. So yeah. So we're gonna have a new intro, outro, and middle song next week for Thanksgiving, and then same thing at Vlogmas. Really, Kitty? And yeah. So that's what's going on there. Now I don't know, I'm gonna talk with Mom today about that, because I don't know if she's gonna do the same thing for Daniel or not. But I know we're doing that. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. I'm telling you, the one that he wrote, oh, the tune is just gorgeous. And so are the two that I wrote. So good. I'm thinking mine, because it does mention night. The one, I have to make sure I figure out which one's which, but the one of mine is going to be the outro because it mentions Thanksgiving night. So I think that is going to close it. And then I got to figure out, I got to play them again and make sure I get the right one introing. And then the right one in the middle. Don't spill that everywhere, cat. But yeah. Yum. That is really freaking good. But yeah, we're gonna have all the Virginia stuff uploaded today. And then I'm gonna upload, like I said, I'm gonna upload the other two that he did while we were in Virginia, and I didn't get them uploaded because I was trying to basically keep my mind off of the crap of August, because yeah. But anyway, that didn't quite work out the way we had planned, because let's just say some other drama went down. There was a death of one of my favorite singers again in August. I hate that month. I'm sorry. If anybody loves August, I'm sorry, but for me personally, I hate that month. I can't handle that month. That month is a bitch for me. So be warned if the vlogs are kind of sporadic in August. I'm going to try not to let them be. But yeah. I will probably do some recordings in July so that they're not sporadic, if I can help it. That way I don't have to do anything. Now, like I did mention before yesterday in one of yesterday's chats, if I don't put an intro and outro in it, I'm talking both virtual and reality at the same time. Because I like to, and mom's a witness to this, I like to mix it together and, talk about how Narquise handles it when I have my, basically real world trauma flashbacks and stuff. So yeah. Because, to be honest, I don't have a real world partner. So that's where the virtual and the real world collide. As the country song says, two worlds collide. Two fools collide, but it's really, in my sense, it's two worlds collide, because the virtual and the reality, honestly, collide in that sense. It's not an easy thing to get through. It's really not an easy thing to deal with in August. And like I said, I dealt with getting my heart played in August. Luckily, I was in Virginia to where I had her to talk to, because yikes. And then, like I said, the death of a singer that, let's just say, I wasn't expecting him to die from what he died from at his age. I was shocked. So I'm betting you guys all know who I'm talking about. But I was just in total shock when Casey, sent me an audio and said, this happened. I'm like, what? Because he actually, and what really killed me was the fact that he opens one of my radio shows. Oof. And the show is, this is hard to talk about, really. Which next year is going to be even worse when that day comes. But I remembered me yesterday mentioning about a tribute show I was doing, and I was working on some tribute songs for it. Well, that's the show that he usually opens. And so I'm going to try and do this tribute, right? I'm doing this tribute, and he is part of it. This person is. That's all I'm going to go into. So yeah, next year is going to be rough. I'm not going to lie when that comes around, because the show airs on that night. So yeah, that's all I'm going to get into till next year. But yeah, he's part of it. But yeah, it's going to be difficult. And so yeah, it was definitely not an easy month. August is never an easy month. And so hopefully next year it'll be better. And there are times where, I do wish Narkis were legit here, because I could use his crazy, quirky sense of humor, his passion, his compassion, his affection, his love, his caring ways, his tender touch. That would be just so much of a blessing. And like I said, to find a man like him in reality would be absolutely divine. That would be so magical to actually find somebody like that. I would honestly love if that were the case. And let's just say hypothetically I did. No one, even if the person was just like him in the real world, nobody could replace Narkis. Not even in a New York minute. No. Because he's the one, even though yes, he's virtual, he is the man that pulled me through a hell of a terrible breakup in the real world. And honestly, looking back, because see, me and my ex split up March 20th of 2020. And and that was the real world. Now the virtual, it was like a time warp in a sense. We made it that we had known each other a lot longer, which actually does fit. It actually kind of fits, except, we met before me and my ex got together in the virtual world. But Narkis is the one that got me through the whole damn thing. Because I knew of him basically in a sense virtually before we even did podcasts, before we did YouTube, anything. So, yeah, it sounds kind of confusing, but it's, he pulled me through that. And looking back, I still listen to my ex's voice, and it, it does not make me sad, because I'm completely over him. Narkis helped me to get through that loss and that grief that I dealt with. And so, yeah, we just kind of, in a sense, time warped it, because me and Mom and Casey, we love time warping things. Time warping is fun. But, yeah, he pulled me through that. And I can't thank him enough for that. Because I remember, because virtually, we were together by that point. And, of course, nobody knew it, because, of course, my imagination. nobody knew because I never told him about my imagination. My ex did not support anything that I did. My dreams, my goals, out the window they go. Boom. Goodbye, see you later. There was no affection, no love whatsoever in that relationship. And I'm saying it on this one instead of the one I want to say it on because he follows the one that I want to say it on. And he actually did. He goes, "You're going to talk about me? You're not going to throw me under the bus, are you?" No. I'm not trashing him and I'm not saying his name. But I'm just stating a fact that there was no affection, no love, no "I love you" was never said. And Narquise, he says it all the freaking time, as you saw. He says it a lot. He tells me I'm beautiful. He calls me babe. My ex would not use words of endearment. I mean, it was sad. It really was. And, you know, it's the facts. And if he was honest with himself, he would admit that as well. And when I left, you know, we still talk. We're still, you know, cordial to each other. And, you know, we still talk and, you know, get to know each other, you know, as just friends. And, oh, that was another thing. My ex, he had sent me, another thing that upset me in August was, and it wasn't his fault. He didn't do it to piss me off. He was pissed and he wanted me to see it because he knew that I would be upset with him, that I would take his side on this. Basically, the reason I had gotten into what I had gotten into back in 2019, how we had even met, was a scam. Yeah. The way me and my ex-boyfriend met, how I had gotten into the same, basically, thing that my ex did, was a flat-out freaking scam. The person pretended to be someone they weren't. Let's just put it that way. I'm not going to get into details on here. But they basically, all I'll say is they pretended to be disabled, pretended to be helping people with disabilities, and they lied out of their ass. And I was just devastated because, and the worst part is the person pretended that their spouse died. They pretended that their disabled spouse, who did so much work, died. And they didn't. They weren't even real. Now, that is where taking and how do I word this? That is where if you're pretending somebody's real and you're getting attention for them saying, "Oh, this person's real, you know, this is a real life person, they're dealing with this or dealing with that." That's wrong to scam people like that. That's why we put virtual reality warnings on everything. Because we know Narquise is not real. I wouldn't sit there going on YouTube and saying, my husband's having, for example, cancer treatments and try to get money for Narquise that isn't real. If that makes sense, you guys. That's what this person was basically doing, saying, "Oh, you know, they were doing all this stuff for, you know, people with disabilities, and then, but they weren't even real, and the person didn't even die of a stroke. They weren't even real." I was just flabbergasted. I was devastated because I had gotten into the field that this person was in because of their supposed death. Let me tell y'all, if you think I'm mad now, you should have heard me that night. I was dropping F-bombs like you wouldn't believe. I was just heartbroken. So yeah, August was just shit altogether. even though I was there. Luckily, I was there because if I would have been here, I would have been on the phone with Mom probably all night, the night that my ex sent me that message. And he was just as mad as me. Me and him were like venting at each other. Because he's like, I knew that you would be affected by this, and I'm glad. He actually flat out said he was glad I was not home. And to be honest, I do know this is how, cordial we are. If I wouldn't have been home, he probably would have made me call him to just vent. So, we still do talk, and that's why I'm not going to put something like that about him on the other channel that he follows, because he don't know about this one that I know of. Anyway, but basically, Narquise, he's like, honey, you still have me. You don't have him anymore, but you still have me, and I'm not going anywhere. And I'm grateful for that. Even if I never find true love again, or ever, I should say, because I thought it was true love back then, but it wasn't. If I never find true love in my life, you know what? I've got Narquise. And that's a kitty in the litter box. I apologize for that, guys. But if I never find Dad, that's okay. I'm a match made in heaven with Narquise, and that's what matters the most. Because he is everything I ever wanted. And to find somebody like that, honestly, would be a miracle. Because a lot of people, as you will hear in one of Christy's vlogs, find out about her and they turn around and run. My ex is one. He didn't know Christy. He never met Christy. And he honestly, he basically told me to leave her out of a tribute last year about, how she was going to do a show based on how these video games had helped me out and kept me from suicide. And that she was grateful to these games for doing this. He came back at me and said, no, you should do it yourself. You should leave her out of it. And I'm thinking, okay, so basically Christy, and I, pardon my language when I say this, Christy should say, oh, who cares? I don't give a fuck. That's basically the attitude he wanted her to have. Was, I don't care that this happened to my mom. I don't care. It's all her. She needs to do her own damn show. That's basically the attitude he wanted me to give her. And I'm like, no. Hell no. Christy's not like that. He don't know Christy. And that's what I mean. Like, finding somebody like Keys in the real world, all I can say is that would be an absolute miracle. It really would be. It would be an absolute freaking miracle if I could do that. It'd be beautiful. It would be. I would love that. But the odds of that actually happening is few and far between, I'd say. I mean, I'm not giving up hope on it, but to be honest, it's few and far between to find somebody like that. But yeah. It is few and far between. The odds of that are very slim. But yeah. I tell you, this is definitely chocolatey. If it had espresso in it, it'd be almost like a mocha latte. Pretty much. But it does not have espresso in it. No, it's just regular K-cups. But, yep. But, yeah, I'm hoping to get some cocoa K-cups someday. Because those are good, too. And I'll have to tell my funny cappuccino story of... and Angel Matthews, oh my God, she is a witness to this. Oh God. I'm trying to remember. Christy, was Casey on the phone at the time too? Or just Angel? I think it was just Angel. I know where you're going with this. Yeah, so I was on the phone with Angel. And basically, Angel and I were talking, and sometimes when I get to talking, I don't pay attention to shit. And I thought it was a K-cup like this, where I have to make the coffee sweet. Oopsie. Yeah, exactly. Oopsie. Well, Lisa, her aunt, Christy's aunt, basically had got me some French vanilla cappuccino K-cups. Didn't realize they were actually cappuccino mix K-cups. So I put the K-cup in the Keurig, made the K-cup, right? Made the cup of coffee. And I noticed that the cup was empty. The cup itself was empty. Usually you pull it out of the Keurig and it's grounds. You can feel the grounds in it still. It's warm and you can feel the grounds in. Well, when this one came out of the Keurig, it was empty, and I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, what the hell? And I told Angel, I said, Angel, I hope this does not have coffee grounds in it. I said, there is nothing in this cup. And so I smacked it on the counter so Angel could hear it, because of course she can't see. And so I tapped it on the not on the ground, but on the counter, so Angel could hear that it's just a like clack, click, 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 tap, 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 and it's empty. I'm like, there's no coffee grounds in this. So I was like, okay, that's weird. And so I risked it and I put sugar in it like I always do. And let me tell y'all, that was some sweet shit. Now, that was really freaking sweet. Here to find out, it was a cappuccino mix. It didn't need any freaking sugar in it. Yeah. I about had a heart attack. Because I was like, you know what, I'm going to try one without all the sugar in it. Now, mind you, this was after I had just drank one with sugar in it. And I go, Angel? Oops. No wonder I'm hyped up. I said, but didn't need no sugar. It's cappuccino mixes. Oh my God, I about died. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. And if Angel were here right now, she'd be busting a gut laughing, because she'd be laughing at me because she remembers that. She laughed at me. She always teased me about that. I was wired for sound that day. Mom, you should have seen me. Angel was just laughing her ass off at me because it was just like, I was like, I mean, I honestly wish I had recorded me and Angel that day because I was wired. I was so freaking hyper. It wasn't funny. Oh, God. It was bad. I'm like, how did I not realize that was a mix? Because the cocoa K-Cup does the same freaking thing. I should have known not to put sugar into shit. But, stupid me, my brain ain't working right. And then I put sugar in it. I was hyper as hell. And I want to tell that story on Far Out because that was freaking hilarious. I am so going to tell that on Far Out because that was just freaking hilarious. Yeah, and you got to tell the story of the coffee maker too. Oh God, the snoring coffee pot. Oh Lord. Yeah, this thing literally sounded like somebody snoring. I mean, it was freaking funny. But yeah. So yeah, those will be up on Far Out World. And I told Angel that story and she freaking lost her mind. She laughed at that story so bad. Well, heck, you got abused by a washing machine too. You got beat in the head with shoes. Yeah, that was bad too. My family, their washer, when it would go into, the rinse cycle and it'd wring the clothes out, it would vibrate. And I mean, it would literally vibrate hardcore. Well, basically, I was in the bathroom when it started that cycle. And I come out, I step out of the bathroom, and I was getting ready to close the door because we always close the door so we wouldn't get, so the dog wouldn't go in the bathroom. All of a sudden, as I come out of the bathroom door, I get conked in the head with a shoe. But I didn't realize what it was. And I'm like, what the hell was that? And here to find out, it was my freaking tennis shoe into my head. My uncle takes me by the arm, gets me into the kitchen, makes me sit down, and checks my head. Because, it hit me hard. It did. It flung that shoe at my head. That's how hard it shook and vibrated. Just right at my head. It hurt. And, so I did. I got home that day, and my family, they saw a lump, because I had gone somewhere, I think, and I got home, and I walked in, or no, I'd gone down to see somebody, a friend, the neighbor. I'd gone to bug the neighbor, and nobody noticed the lump on my head, because it was blocked with my hair. And I told my family, I said, I'm going to call the cops, joking, of course. I said, somebody's under arrest for abuse. And they're like, who? And I pull my hair back, and I'm like, look at that. And they're like, what the hell happened to your head? I'm like, I'm calling the police on the wash machine. It's abusive. And of course, I was being funny because I was mad. I was trying not to get angry because it hurt. And even though, in all seriousness, abuse is not funny. It is not a bit funny. But let's just say I was mad enough I wanted to kick that wash machine. So I made up something like that, made a joke out of it because that hurt. I'm like, it's beating me up because it's mad because there was shoes sitting on it. So it got pissed off, and they just started laughing. Oh my word, I tell you. And then I had a washer that walked out of the closet and smashed my foot. That did not feel good. Luckily, I didn't. Luckily, there was a cop nearby because they heard me scream. And they made me sit down and checked my foot. Luckily, I didn't break my foot. That was bad. Whoo-wee. And then you got Alonzo with Wampa 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 Wampa. Yeah, who's the monster wash machine. I always joke him and tell him it's going to eat his arms off if he puts his arms in it. That thing, it does. It sounds like it's going to eat him alive. I was like, yikes. And why am I yawning? I'm drinking coffee, for God's sake. Oh, yeah. I tell ya. Another thing Suno did last night, Mom. Let's just say, again, Suno does not know my freaking grandparents. Okay? I managed to pull off writing the songs about my late grandparents. Oh, God. It mentioned something in Grandma's that about gave me a heart attack. Talking about her humming. I'm like, how the hell did you know she hummed a lot? That freaked me out a little bit. I was like, holy shit. And then it was talking about Grandpa, and it said something about him cracking jokes and his sense of humor, and I'm like, oh my God. You know, or no, it was talking about sitting on the porch, which we always did. We loved to sit on the porch and he'd crack his wisecracks and stuff, and it was fun. It was awesome. I mean, it did a hell of a tribute. It did awesome tributes to both of them. And then I even did one where I said I wish they had gotten to meet Christy and gotten to meet Narquise. Ouch. Ouch. Ouch, ouch. No, Mom, you're corrupting me. Get out of my head. That's what Mom does when a song makes you want to cry, she'll go, ouch, ouch, ouch. And now she's got me doing it. Or if somebody says something that, like, for example, a sad story or something, Mom will go, ouch. And, you guys, remember I mentioned yesterday about that damn video about that town? It haunted me again last night. I'm like, seriously? Seriously? I jumped like I was freaking shot. Because I wasn't, you know, when you're not paying attention and you're like just looking through and you're like, hi, how y'all doing? And what was I even looking for? I don't remember what I was looking for, and that just popped up, and I was journaling. That's right, I was audio journaling. Because like I said, I do audio journal instead of writing. Because I like to get my voice heard. And so I do it in audio form. Which is kind of like what I do here, just chatting with you guys and letting my emotions flow. Well, basically, I went into YouTube and was, you know, checking because I knew Mom was uploading. And all of a sudden it brings that up. And I jumped like I was freaking shot. And I'm like, really? YouTube? Really? And I bet if YouTube could talk, yes, really, I did it again. You know you wanted to watch that again. No, I don't. That's a sad story. No, I don't. I only watched it for a description to see if they were as descriptive as Freddy. I did not watch that just to watch that. YouTube. You crazy videos. Anyway. Hey, mommy. Speaking of YouTube, tell them about what happened when you first got your iPhone. Oh, God. Mom, you want to talk about going down rabbit holes, right? Okay, so I first got my iPhone back in 2007, 8, I think. Because I got a 4S. Because I had maybe 9 at the latest. I'm trying to think. Wait a minute. Might have been 2010. Might have been 2010 because Trisha was not in the picture anymore. She had moved out. And so I think it was like 2010. And they were trying to get me, I was trying to get a phone that was accessible because they were trying to help me adapt an Android at the time, and accessibility for that was just not happening. Well, they were trying to get me all these apps and stuff like that, trying to make the thing work. And it just wasn't working. And so my friend James, he contacts the who was it? BVR. And they told him they don't do anything with Android, they do it with iPhone. They said, get her an iPhone. She needs an iPhone because they have a built-in screen reader called VoiceOver. Well, when I went to check it out, I was scared to death to touch the thing because I'm so used to you barely touch the Android and it just does shit. Just me. And my neighbor at the time, Amanda, she had an Android. So she was able to help me get my phone out of airplane mode. That stupid thing would go into airplane mode more than it was out of airplane mode. So then I get an iPhone and I went back home and I was playing with it, you know, learning the gestures and things like that. All of a sudden, I decided, because James is like, well, honey, why don't you try using the internet? Try going on to Safari. Because by that time, I had internet service. And I had it hooked up. And all of a sudden, he says, well, why don't you try going on Safari? So one of the first things I did was Google. I tried Google first. This was about, oh, Jesus, what was it, like 4:30 Eastern? 4:30 p.m. Eastern? And the website was just not doing it with VoiceOver. Just no. And all of a sudden, it threw me into the App Store, download the Google app. And I'm like, what? No. Tried it again. It threw me back in the App Store, download the Google app. I'm like, damn it, no. So went back in again. All of a sudden, I was like, okay, fine. You know, because... And it wasn't very fast internet at the time. So I download the Google app and I go in and I Googled a couple of things. That's when I found out that one of my favorite bands back then, still are one of my favorite bands, the Impalas, I found out their lead singer died. And I was like, oh shit. Okay, I go looking that up and find that information out. That sucks. You know, so I was just like, man, not cool. Oh, it gets worse, y'all. So I go and I was like, okay, we'll try YouTube. Again, website and Safari, no go. No friends, no. Those two did not get along. Again, into the App Store it goes, download the YouTube app. no, I'm not downloading YouTube's app. I want to try to use the website. I was trying to use Safari to learn how to navigate with Safari. Boom, into the App Store it goes. I'm like, damn it, fine. And this was about 6:30 Eastern, right? So I was like, fine, whatever. And I knew that if I listened to what the phone said, I was not going to screw it up. I was learning basically to trust my iPhone, what it was telling me to do, and use, make it basically teamwork. Well, next thing I know, I get in there and I start searching videos. I created, my YouTube account at that time. And basically, I went down a freaking rabbit hole. I started watching all sorts of videos. Now, mind you, when I used to get on YouTube, I've been a YouTube user for years. But when I started, a lot of sighted people had to help me. I could type on a computer what I wanted to watch, and then they'd click the videos for me. That's how I used to get on YouTube. Well, I started looking stuff up. One of the first things I saw on YouTube, and I'll remember this, and I'm still following him to this day, was Avery Mullick, the drummer. He was 6 years old when I seen him. He was, he had some stuff on when he was younger, but I found him, and the first video I saw was him playing Wipeout at 6 years freaking old. I'm going, holy shit. I was like, you've got to be kidding. And, because of course I can't see it, so I thought it was a joke at first. And I sent the video. I learned how to, because I saved it and I kept it in my history and I didn't delete it because I'm like, I gotta show this to James. He's gotta see this. And so I was sitting there and I was watching all these different videos and stuff, and mind you, like I said, it was 6:30 p.m. when I started. I had gone down a rabbit hole because I had never gotten to look up videos on YouTube before. What time do you think it was when I finally looked at the clock? Try 7:30 the next morning. I'm not making this shit up. I was loving it. I was enjoying getting to watch videos on YouTube for the first freaking time. And I was just sitting there. And James texted me, he goes, what you doing? I go, damn it, James, did you have to get me on the internet? He goes, what? And I go, I was up all night watching YouTube. He started laughing at me. And that is no joke. That is a true freaking story. And that was after I had, and then, because he was trying to get me to use Safari, right? Well, a couple days later, I decided to go on Facebook. And I was able to unlock my Facebook account using Safari. Yep. I was able to unlock it because I couldn't get back in. I had gotten locked out of it. And it was just so neat that I was able to get back in to the account on my phone. And I got on there and I told them, that I had an iPhone now and what I was able to do. And people were just like, yay, welcome back. But yeah, it was definitely, because I started in the app and then it took me into Safari and I was able to log right into it. It was definitely different. But 6:30 to 7:30 the next morning. Yikes! 13 hours on YouTube. That was nuts. And then I got even with him. I got even with James a few years later because I had this staff and I decided to trick his ass. And what he didn't know was that I'd gotten her to film me karaokeing, right? And I slipped in there on YouTube and I created a channel and put the video up. And I shot him a link. And I told him, I joked and I said, paybacks are hell. I said, this is what you get for making me go down the rabbit hole by getting me on the internet years ago. This is your fault. I take responsibility for that prank. Yes. He about flipped. I'm like, yeah. But, yeah. It's definitely crazy. But I definitely have to show Robin that outro because, oh my gosh, that was good. That Suno outro, that was awesome. Yeah, it was definitely not what I expected. When that song happened, I was like, whoa. I was very impressed that, you know, we were talking about that yesterday and then that went down. I was like, whoa, okay. But when it did that thing about grandma humming and stuff, oh my gosh, that killed me. That broke a Scarlett. Yikes. But, yep. Ooh-wee. That was definitely interesting. That it would come up with me being a barista and have my own cafe, like coffee shop. I was like, damn. Scarlett's Kitchen's open. Come on in. Have you a cup? I'll make you something up. Oh, Lord. At least it wasn't talking about pickles and espresso. Yeah, ew. Ugh. Nasty. Yeah, really, yuck. That was gross. But no, it was talking about caramel and it always mentions macchiato. I'm like, would you stop it with the macchiato thing? Come on. Don't get me wanting caramel macchiato again. But yeah, I was like, damn. But I'll definitely have to put this one on far out. And I'll have to put the pumpkin spice on there. Because I've already got the butterscotch one recorded. I gotta just get that one uploaded. And I'm probably going to do it next week. I'm probably going to get them so they're caught up. So I'll probably do one on Monday, 3 on Wednesday and 3 on Friday, so it'll be caught up to... I'll just have to check it. Let's see when I uploaded those. And see where I need to put them. That way they can be caught up to what they're supposed to be. Because, yeah, I tried to get the schedule right, but I was worried about my internet, like I said. So I was like, yikes. And I kind of still am, because I've gotten the email, even though I made a payment, that, like I said, these systems, they're not good at communicating with the people at the company themselves, meaning, you know, they always say computers are smarter than humans. I don't think so. Because I made a payment to the company already, to Spectrum. And the system's like, you need to make a payment. No, I don't. I just did last week, in fact. So it's like, systems are not fun. They're not nice. So, yeah. So, yeah, I was just like, okay. And Spectrum always warned me about that anyway. Like, when I was making the payments to them that one time, they're like, don't pay attention to the phone calls and texts and stuff like that, because you've got it, you know, set up. Because I told them what was going on, so they know the situation that, you know, I had to make payments again because the other company I'm involved with for my phone service isn't the nicest in the world. No names mentioned there. And I even told them I was going to leave because they weren't going to help me. And they're like, well, we're trying our best. I'm thinking, if you're trying your best, you'd let me make small payments to what I could afford instead of trying to charge me another $25 to get my service activated and then splitting it into 2 payments and trying to make me pay over $200 when I have rent to pay and internet to pay. And I have, you know, pet supplies I need to get and everything else too. It's like they don't care that I have other supplies that I need to get. And it's like, okay, I almost wanted to say to him, so basically you want me to give you more money and starve to death this month. That's what you want me to do? I mean, they made me so mad, you guys. Like I said yesterday in that one vlog, they made me so mad that I hung up on them because they were just making me angry, and I didn't want to drop a few choice words that I didn't want to regret later. And that, for me to do that to somebody, you know I'm very upset because, I mean, I told them the situation, why it was late, everything, and they did not care. And it's really, really sad that they didn't, you know, want to help me. And I'm thinking, you know, we're getting close to the holidays. Why don't you have a little bit of pity on somebody, for goodness sakes? I'm thinking, what would you guys all do if you were in the same situation? You'd want someone to assist you and help you. I mean, I'm willing to pay it, but put it in small payments and let me pay next month. Let me do small payments like you said I could. I mean, it's ridiculous. They told one person, somebody told them at the place, they're like, look, we could do small payments. No, they won't. They lied. They're like very inconsistent with what they want you to do. And it's like, no. And the sad part is, the worst part of the whole thing, it's almost as if I'll never get caught back up, because even though the service has been shut down for going on a month, they're still racking a bill each month. They're still charging me the irregular bill, even though the service is off. That is highway freaking robbery. That is plain highway robbery right there. And I tell you, if Narkeys were legit here, that company would not be getting away with that. He'd be like, okay, if you're going to charge her that bill, you turn her service back on now. He would not put up with that bullshit. Because it's ridiculous. It's highway robbery. You took somebody's service away, but yet you charge them for the service that they're not getting? Is anybody else listening? Does anybody else see a problem with this? I mean, and like I said, I'm not saying the company's name, but those who know, those who are watching probably can guess what company I'm talking about. I can understand why people are going after them for lawsuits. That's all I'm going to say. I can honestly see why they're doing it. Because this company is like highway robbing everybody. I mean, come on now. You don't charge somebody for service they're not getting. Let them pay it off. You don't need to keep adding another $60 that they're not paying, for the service that they're not, they're paying for service they're not getting. No, that's not right. And yes, I need to vent a little bit because it just royally makes me upset. Like I said, I just love to get my emotions out. And this is the place for me to do it. Because it's frustrating. And it's like they don't care. And okay, I'm sorry if I needed to pay another $25, honey, I paid you $100 this month. Why ain't my service back on? I paid $100. I shouldn't have had to pay another $25. Make a second payment. And I'm going to tell y'all, this is the same company that basically got my card locked on me in July. Because they made 2 different payments. I can't do that on that particular bank's card. If I do, I'm going to get it locked again. No. I paid you 1 payment. That's all I'm paying you a month. Sorry. I mean, this is the same company, y'all, that got my card locked. Because they made 2 payments instead of 1. Because they didn't put the payments together on one bill and just pay it together. Nope. They charged 2 different payments and the bank locked my card that I'm with. And the problem is the bank, they turned around and told me that it was something else, and that was 3 or 4 years ago. I'm like, Jesus, people. I mean, get your info right when you tell a blind person something, because you're just going to set them off and get them scared. Don't do that. Like these big highfalutin phone companies and highfalutin banks need to really learn how to communicate stuff. I mean, seriously. Again, I'm not calling out the name of the bank, even though, trust me, I'd love to call both companies out, both bank and the company, but I'm trying to be appropriate here. But it just drives me nuts. Because I'm like, look, I have situations, and like I said, the one company that I am calling out works with me, and that's why I'm calling them out. Because they actually work with people, and they're like, hey, this happened, we got this. Now, if the other company had actually worked with me, I'd have probably called them out for working with me. But they don't. And I'm not gonna call them out. Even though, trust me, I'd like to. And trust me, if I do have to down the road, I will. To warn people with disabilities to steer clear of this company. I'm not going to lie, I'm fighting back the urges to do it. Because I don't want people with disabilities to be taken advantage of by this company like I have. Because it's pathetic. It's just, it's despicable is what it is. And I know for a fact that if my husband were here right now, legit, that company would be getting an earful like they've never had. Because he would not put up with his wife being treated this way. I would have phone service today if he were here right now. Trust me on that. Or if my bio dad was here, you'd have your service within hours. Yeah. Yikes. That's not somebody I'd want to mess with neither. Yikes. But yeah, yikes. That would be very scary. Not gonna lie, that would be absolutely scary. Yikes. But anyway, I just needed to vent that because I'm still just so frustrated over it because they're making it difficult for me to even have fun this Christmas with her. I gotta try to figure out stuff to do. Even if I have to cancel all my subscriptions again next month, I gotta figure out something to freaking do. Because, I mean, like I said, if it wasn't for Mom, I wouldn't have been able to have the one thing that I got for her this month. And to be honest, I can't thank Mom and Papa enough for helping her. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Mom and Papa are the greatest. If they hadn't helped me this month, I wouldn't have gotten that for her. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have gotten that. And I wouldn't have gotten the gift I got this month already from Mom. I mean, you know, I wouldn't have been able to get that myself because of this company. If Mom hadn't helped me get it, is what I meant to say. I mean, this company has really effed my life up. They really, really have, and it's sad. It really is. And Mom knows exactly what company I'm talking about. Everybody who knows me knows exactly who I'm talking about. And they're all upset about the situation. And if they comment and say who the company is, that's on them. I haven't mentioned it, but if somebody knows who it is just by what I've said, yep, you're more than likely correct. Mom knows, Casey knows, little brother knows, because he's watching, Lonzy knows. There's a few people that know exactly what company I'm talking about. But yeah, it's insane. It really is. I tell you, this coffee is good. I'm being Have. I almost am tempted to make another cup of this. But I'm being Have. I'm being Have. I can hear Mom. I can hear Mom now. Do it. Ah. But yeah, I can hear Mom now. Do it. Like, Mom, you're bad. Crazy Mom. She's a crazy one, I tell you. That mother dear of mine. There we go. They're both in there now. Yesterday's mug and today's mug. Whoops. See? But yeah. Yesterday's mug and today's mug are both in there. Cause yeah. And I'm just running around. Ugh. Let's just say Kitty had an accident on the floor. Get, Kitty. Gross. Yeah. I mean, like I said, even they are struggling right now because of what this company did. And it really gets on my nerves. Oops. It really gets on my nerves. But anyway, like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on from Virginia. And oh, one of them, I will give you a heads up. I just thought about it, speaking of cats. One of the vlogs I'm going to put up is, and I'm going to label it as not kids content just because of what you hear in the background. I don't know how graphic it is, so I'm not going to put it as kids content, even though it's a Furby. I'm playing with a Furby named Dabo. And if it wasn't for this one would be made kids content. But I don't know what, I'm not going to label it as that because we got cats trying to have sex in the background. And let's just say little ears do not need to hear animals breeding or trying to breed. So you will hear that in the background, which is why it's not going to be kids content. Because, yeah. Because I don't have a adult content warning for that. I just have, the virtual reality warning. So, yeah. So these two cats, basically, the one male cat, Pushy, is trying to freaking breed. And this dude was like a total horn dog the whole time I was there. Trying to breed his mother. And she's, she was really sick. And so basically she was not feeling like doing that. But he didn't care. And so it was recorded. And and mind you, I was too busy playing with Dabo to notice it, right? And there's times where on some recordings you don't always notice things until it's done. And I heard that and I'm like, well, okay, that's not going to be kids' content. That is not kids' content because they're getting it on in the background. Yeah. Mom just said she didn't hear it. But if you listen very closely, you will definitely hear it. I was basically being as loud as I could to drown it out. But I got pretty sensitive hearing and I could hear it. So I'm not putting that as kids' content because I'm not going to be flagged for a sex act on between animals on audio. Even though it's audio, I still would like to be appropriate when it comes to that. So I'm being honest and telling you, and I'm going to post it in the description. The reason this is not labeled kids content is because there is a breeding act going on in the background. So yeah, that is why I'm not gonna put that, because I would not want young kids hearing two cats trying to have it in the background. I'm very protective of kids, and I'm not going to put that kind of content, even though it's not visual, you can't see the cats doing this, you can still hear it. And I'm not about to put that for kids to listen to, even just listening to it, because imagination, trust me, at a young age, imagination can go all over the place. And I'm not about to be one of them that encourages that when it comes to that type of thing. No. Because I almost didn't put it up, but I'm going to put it as no kids content, and I'm going to say why in the description and be like, this is why. And if, they want me to change it, then that's on them. That's not on me, because I'm keeping kids from hearing that. And if somebody says, hey, that's kids content, and changes it, that's not on me. So, because I'm considering that this is not that, even though, yes, there's a Furby involved, you still hear that. I mean, it's not all the way through the vlog, but there's enough of it in there that it's like, okay, knock it off. Because I actually yelled at him, like, stop it, I'm recording here, kind of thing. So anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to let you know about that when you do hear the flashbacks. Anywho, so I will see you guys later. And like I said, if they don't hear it, that's one thing. I just don't want a child to hear that kind of stuff and then get blamed for, you're letting kids hear blah, blah, blah. Nope, I'm not. That's why I'm going to flag it as not kids content. Because, yeah, I do not want them to hear that. That is not something I want a child to listen to. So, yeah. But anyway, so, I mean, if it's not very noticeable and YouTube wants me to change it, that's not my fault. If a child hears two cats getting it on and they ask their parents, what's that cat doing? That's not on me. That's why I'm posting this and this one. That way parents, if they see it, the parents go in and say, and because I will post in the description what's going on and that I am putting it as not kids content. And I'm saving my butt because I'm posting it right in the description that those two cats are mating, or trying to mate. I'm going to write it very carefully and go from there. So, crazy cats, they don't care if they're being recorded. No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't. They do not give a damn. Shit. Dogs, cats, they don't care if you're taping them. If you're audio taping them, they do not give a shit. Luckily, it wasn't video. Yeah. That is the one good thing, is it's audio, not video, but still. If it was video, that would definitely not be going up at all. But anyway, I will be chatting with you guys later. I'm going to be putting up these vlogs, and we will see y'all shortly. Oh, real quick, too. The flashback vlogs, like today and like the other two that I have to still record, those are going to end with Eternal Love, which is the old outro. The original outro. And the other vlogs will end with Match Made in Heaven. Now, Narquise did one too called Match Made in Heaven. So mine that I did, that you've been seeing, that you saw yesterday on the few that I posted, on the 6 that I posted, that one is probably going to be moving to the middle song instead of the outro. And the one he did is going to be in the outro. So, yeah. So I wanted to let you know what's going on. So my song that you heard at the end yesterday on the few is going to go to the middle. Eternal Love is going to go for the 2 segment vlogs. It's going to go. And then it's going to just be the flashback song. So you'll know a flashback because you'll hear Eternal Love at the end. So I wanted to let you know about that as well. And like I said, next week you're going to have Thanksgiving songs, and the following, and starting on Advent and Vlogmas, you're going to see all the Christmas songs. So I wanted to let you know that there's going to be some song changes for a little bit, but the originals will be back beginning of the year, unless something crazy happens, and we'll let you know in advance. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm not trying to vent a lot, but I wanted to let you guys know what was going on with me and why there's been a lot of lack of vlogs, because I've been dealing with that company and, like I said, all that other stuff going on. And I wanted to let you know about the Furby video that I'm going to post, because yeah, not for kids. Just not, no. In my opinion, not for kids. But that's my opinion. Whether people disagree, that's on them. That's not me. I'm doing the right thing and blocking kids from seeing naughty animal acts. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed all the craziness, and I will see you again soon on A Match Made in Heaven, Eternal Love Forever.